and I say, here's my recommendation. And then 2 days later, they call me. I can't pick up the call, but they leave a message. Hey, Tim, it's Sally. I wanted to call and let you know, thank you so much for your time, but we decided to go in a different direction. Doesn't matter what direction they went in. This is what they say. So if they left me a voicemail, you got two choices. You can listen to that voicemail and be pissed off and say, that's bullshit, and not call them back, not acknowledge it, not do anything. Or choice B is call them back. Even if they don't pick up, leave them a message. Wait until you connect with them. And then you call Sally. You say, hey, Sally, it's Tim. I got your message. I just wanted to touch base with you. I want you to know that I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to earn your business. I'm sorry it wasn't a good fit for this one, but if you or anyone else ever has a need in the future, just make me your first call. Welcome to the podcast dedicated to real estate, insurance, and building your business. Join us as we take you along our own business building journeys with additional wisdom from our network of local and national experts. Welcome to Bricks and Risk.
This episode is brought to you by Property Management Redefined. PMR is not just managing properties, they're creating partnerships that build long-term success for property owners. John and his team can be reached at manage@gopmr.com or by phone 267-753-6005. Tim.
Yes, Sean.
Who's a good client for PMR?
Property Management Redefined is looking for property owners who value three things: accountability, reliability, and a results-driven approach. They want to maximize returns, but still provide client and tenant satisfaction.
There's a lot of property managers out there.
Yes, there are.
What does PMR do really well?
Biggest thing is they're seamless and they're worry-free. So with that approach in mind, it allows the property owner to put their trust in PMR and know that the results will be there. The other thing I think a property owner is really going to value, because they do it so well, is that they have a local expert team, boots on the ground, managing your properties and your tenants' expectations every day so that you feel good about your investments.
We have millions of listeners out there.
Tens of millions.
If they want more information, how do they find PMR?
Right here, guys. Reach out to John Sachs and his team at Property Management Redefined. We'll take good care of you. Hey, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Bricks and Risk. I'm Timmy G.
And I'm Sean Mooney.
Before we get into this, Sean, look at these bad boys. I said These aren't stickers. These are billies, as in billboards.
Did they send you the wrong thing?
I was like, hey, I need some stickers that can act as pasties.
Hey, no, I wasn't doing that. I was just trying to give the people the size.
Now, again, I've already mailed the normal Dope Show stickers right here, but these bad boys, you're committed. Like, you're putting this on your garage fridge or your kid's water bottle. It's like, boom, they're automatically the coolest kid in kindergarten. All right. What are we talking about today?
Today's topic of interest is don't be a commoditized service. Be the trusted advisor.
Okay.
And so,
right off the bat, how do you feel about that? Not that we haven't beaten that one to death.
Yeah, I think, listen, in the day and age that we're in, with two crucial elements in our business that are ongoing right now, rapidly happening to our industries and a lot amongst other industries, is AI,
yep,
and M&A.
Yep.
And these are two typhoons that are happening simultaneously to a lot of industries out there.
So for the audience, what is M&A?
Mergers and acquisitions. And so everybody knows AI. Mergers and acquisitions is the force behind consolidations and a lot of collapsing of smaller businesses and entities.
Correct.
And getting swallowed up by large outfits, conglomerates, private equity, all of those different things that are taking over. And so in a day and age where all of these things are occurring, my recommendation, your recommendation is now it's more crucial now to make the determination that you're not going to be a commodity, and you have to take on the role of trusted advisor, because if you're a commodity, you're going to be off to the wayside. A commodity can just be overtaken. A commodity can be replaced. The trusted advisor, based on your relationships, that is going to last long, and that will not be taken over by all these other forces.
AI is such a great example to start with, because I feel like this is what a lot of people are fearful of right now, is they're fearful of losing their job to AI. And some of the jobs that I feel like are most susceptible to being lost through AI are really kind of like, let's call them the worker bee jobs, where you're just pushing paper, you're doing something with your hands that a robot could replace you with. You're pushing paper. It doesn't need to be paper anymore. You could do it digitally. Maybe you're picking up phone calls. AI can pick up phone calls.
Entry level, like, you get out of college, you have an entry-level job. A lot of those jobs are swept away because AI has the capability to deliver and do what they were doing, maybe even in some instances better than if you had a new employee at your company.
Yeah, no, AI is such a good example. Let's go back to the .com boom.
I thought you were going to say .king.
I mean, you're the .king, but let's go back to the .com boom and bust.
Yeah.
Which I kind of think AI is going to go that direction, but we don't need to go down that rabbit hole.
Ooh.
So let's talk about the .com boom and bust. So this was about mid to late 90s. We were in college, LaSalle University. Shout out.
LSU, go.
Explorers. So we're in college, and I remember this because I worked at the career planning office. So I actually had a work study.
What?
Yeah. I was working in the career planning office. People can be like, this is what I want to do. And I'm like, okay, just fill this out. Let me get you the proper advice.
What? Oh, you just like...
No, it was like answering phones and sorting data cards or whatever.
Just to be clear.
Yeah, it was nothing more than like administrative work.
Okay. I was hoping you were going to say like, I was giving,
But anyway, so working at the career planning office at LaSalle University and only being administrative, but I did have a front row seat to the career fairs, to the job opportunities, to people applying for things.
Yeah.
The advisor in the marketing department was helping the marketing student get placed for a job. Oh, you should talk to J&J, let's say. I got to see all that. So what was huge when I was probably like a junior, so this is like, let's call it, no, I'm going to say, excuse me, this is before 2000, okay? Because I think the .com bubble was like 99, 2000, somewhere around there.
Wait, what year did you graduate?
I graduated 2001.
Okay.
What year did you graduate?
Later than that.
Yes. So working in the career planning office, there were a lot of these tech companies.
Yeah.
Remember there was like, it was all about the fight for the domains.
Yeah.
Pets.com and beer.com and TV.com and cellularphone.com.
Amblerinsurance.com.
Everyone was fighting for .coms. So there was all this money out. People were paying all these hefty hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars for domain names because they're like, I need to own that domain name to be successful online in e-commerce moving forward. That's what I need. And what happened? Everything got super inflated, too many .coms, too many empty promises, and everything came crashing down. Meaning a lot of those companies went out of business, and all the people that were working for those companies out of LaSalle University went to work for a .com or a big tech company. They lost their job.
Yeah.
Because it was all basically like commodities. It was, let's just see what we can do. But let's stick to AI because that's where things are today. So you got a sense of what happened back then. AI now, same thing, flooded market, flooded with investment dollars. They're building data centers everywhere. Agentic AI, and this is going to do this, and this form's going to do that. And they're building robots, and the robots are going to have intelligence, and they're going to be able to, make your breakfast for you if you're elderly and things like that. And that's all coming.
Oh, I didn't tell you my new invention that I was going to create.
Okay, tell me about your new invention.
My invention
That you were going to create.
that I'm going to.
Gotcha.
Yeah. It's an idea that I formulated over the last 3 months.
Okay, what's your idea?
I'm going to vibe code an AI program that blocks all communication and terms within my whole entire network of communication that blocks the word AI.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Because you just don't want to hear about it anymore.
Like, can you turn on the TV or phone or go on
Anything.
social media? Like I need a break.
Yeah.
From AI, and I'm
You love
Mr. Like AI. I love it.
I'm not. I use it, but I'm not Mr. AI.
My point in that is like it's so much.
So much. It's overload.
Yeah.
And again.
So wait, what do you think of my invention?
Well.
So like you'll never get a text. You'll never on your TV. You will block it out where you won't even hear.
You're basically like unsubscribing from AI.
Yeah.
You want unsubscribe from anything AI in your life.
Unsubscribe mode.
Okay. I think it's a great idea. Okay.
I think it's got legs.
So let's talk about, things are going to go up and things are going to be scary and then things are going to come back down to reality. This is why we're jumping into commoditized service versus trusted advisor. Commoditized services, whether AI is a big bust for a lot of it, doesn't matter. AI is here and the good AI is here to stay, and it will take jobs away from people who are susceptible.
Yep.
If you're just a worker bee, let's call it, it's the possibility you're susceptible. Now, the trusted advisor, let's stick to sales because, again, it's a business podcast, and a lot of what we talk about is like sales and marketing and building a business. If you're in sales, you could say, hey, it's a numbers game. Like I just make phone calls or I send enough emails or I do enough social media posts or I send enough postcards or I do enough billboards or I knock on enough doors. You do all this stuff and you're going to get business out of it.
Yep.
But again, if that's all you're really focused on is just transactional, just another deal, and you're less focused on customer service, making sure the deal is well cared for, is advised properly. You're buying a piece of real estate and you don't know how to advise someone, you're in a lot of trouble because they're going to find out at some point, whether that's before the sale, during the sale, or after the sale, and they are never, ever going to work with you again, and they're going to tell all their friends and family not to work with you either. So you want to be careful about that. But if you have more the trusted advisor hat on, you're going to be thinking more long-term. You're going to be thinking, AI can't touch me because AI doesn't have the empathy that I have, the skills I have, the temperature control that I have. When people's temperatures rise, I can bring them down because I'm very good at what I do. I know how to talk to people. I know how to ask the right questions. I know my shit, so I know how to tell them, this is a bad one to buy because A, B, and C, and this one's a great one to buy because A, B, and C.
That would be a great opportunity to drop in that clip that I gave you, if you remember.
Yeah, which clip?
The one I recorded between you and I.
Oh, yes.
Bringing the temperature down.
Exactly. We should give that to Noah. You might have to drop in a couple seconds of that.
So Tim's referencing, clients becoming emotional.
Correct.
And the trusted advisor is able to understand where they're coming from and try to bring that temperature and that emotional level down.
And then for this particular example that Mr. Mooney's referring to, if I recall, there was a lot of screaming and cursing at a decibel level I have never heard from this person before. And I know this person pretty well. And then how did I respond? I said, it's not what I would tell you to do, but if that's what you want to do, I'll go deliver the message. And then you were like, Tim's going to go shit on this person for me. So again, like that is where you want to be with being a trusted advisor, thinking with that kind of hat on, not with like, let me knock on more doors, let me make more calls, let me talk to more people, let me have more conversations, let me do more deals. Because if you're doing that, guess what? Eventually someone's going to come up with an AI opportunity to do as many calls, to figure out how to get in front of those people, to get them into the funnel so that a trusted advisor will be the one to close on the sale and get the commission, let's say, or get, whatever relationship, let's call it.
Yeah.
So we're talking relational and not transactional.
Well, think about that. And,
go
and we
ahead.
reference Ryan Serhant when he had the sale of that house. It was $200 million to the
Shout out to Ryan Serhant.
person or CEO that was the development of some AI technology.
Yep.
And that person was telling Ryan Serhant, like, AI will never be able to do this.
Yep.
There's a gap in what AI is capable of doing. That's the know, like, trust that only a person in an advisory role can provide a client, right?
Yep.
So as much as you try to build out the technologies and everything else, it's if you spend more time becoming better at building relationships, networking, building your sphere, those are the things that you should be focusing on, because the more equipped you are to do that, the better off you're going to be long term, because technologies can't take that away, can't build a person to do that.
Yeah, and you said SOI in there, which I think is a really good example. And we just did an episode about talking about like sales techniques, and people are saying, just get on the phone, just knock on doors, just do social media posts, just text 5 people you know a day. And we were talking about all the sales techniques that people have. And I think SOI is a really good example, because even the ones who master those techniques, like let's say you're a master cold caller.
Yep.
You're just buying a list, you're calling people you don't know, or you're calling expired listings, or whatever it is. It doesn't matter what you're doing. Let's say you're trying to be a master on the phone. Eventually what happens is you help enough people. Even if you give an average service, those people are going to be pleased. They're going to go tell 5 people they know, go work with Tim, go work with Sean, and then you're going to get referrals.
Yep.
So even if you get really good on the phone, eventually you'll start to slow down or get away from the phone, because you don't need to do it anymore. You are attracting clients. You are attracting business, even if you're average. It's just it's economies of scale. It's numbers. You do real estate, you do insurance, you do pizza sales long enough. You meet enough people, you sell enough pizzas, you're going to get enough repeat customers to just start ordering from you every week, and therefore you don't have to mail out the menus anymore, because you got more business. Now you need a second location.
Yeah.
So that's where that goes. So even the ones who are a little bit more transactional, eventually almost all of them will become relational just through the act of doing it long enough. And then what happens? Then they bring in the little minions beneath them, and they're like, well, you do it transactional, and you do this, and you do that. And then once you get to that point, then you can be my sales manager. And they're promising that you're going to move up. And again, all of that works. But I think from the start, if you're thinking a little bit differently, a little bit against the grain right now, thinking that AI maybe will not replace the trusted advisor, which we both believe will not. If you think that from the start, you're going to think about your business differently from the start. You're going to think more long-term. What did you just call it on the last episode?
Marathoner's mindset.
Marathoner's mindset.
Trademark.
Explain that again.
So if you go into a sales role, into a business role, and you have the mindset that you're going to make a call and get a sale, that is not what you should be doing. It's very short term. The wins you're going to get out of that are going to be few and far between.
Agreed.
If you go in with the marathoner's mindset that this is a long-term play, and that every call that you make is a contact, is a prospect, and you're capturing their information, contact information, whatever, and you build that into your pipeline. I reference this spider web. You're bringing them into this spider web. This spider web is going to grow over time, And after 2 or 3 years, you're going to have this Rolodex of prospects that are aware of you and know you and have seen you before and know the deals you do and the neighborhood you work in. It's going to have a compound effect. And over time, over those couple of years, is going to get you wins in business and sales after that period of time.
Hey everyone, this is Tim, your favorite Bricks and Risk co-host. But don't tell Sean. I hope you're enjoying this episode, and I'll get right back to it in a moment. Our audience grows through word of mouth, so if you would please take a moment of your time and give us a review on the platform you're on, that would be fantastic. Please also help spread the B&R word by sharing your favorite episode with a friend. We greatly appreciate your time and trust. Now, back to the show. Yeah, here's a great example. So I had here long-term care, so that marathoner's mindset, just
Yep.
what you were talking about. But I also had diligence. So like think about diligence like professionalism. So here's a great example. I'm going to give a real estate example. Someone contacts me, and it's a friend of a friend, and they say, hey, we want to sell our family's home. I was given your name through Billy or Sally. Okay. So we establish you're a referral. Then I talk to them. Then I do set an appointment to look at the house. Then I do a listing presentation, and then I give them the price, and I say, here's my recommendation. And then 2 days later, they call me. I can't pick up the call, but they leave a message. Hey, Tim, it's Sally. I wanted to call and let you know, thank you so much for your time, but we decided to go in a different direction. Doesn't matter what direction they went in. This is what they say. So if they left me a voicemail, you got two choices. You can listen to that voicemail and be pissed off and say, that's bullshit, and not call them back, not acknowledge it, not do anything. Or choice B is call them back. Even if they don't pick up, leave them a message. Wait until you connect with them. And then you call Sally. You say, hey, Sally, it's Tim. I got your message. I just wanted to touch base with you. I want you to know that I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to earn your business. I'm sorry it wasn't a good fit for this one, but if you or anyone else ever has a need in the future, just make me your first call. I'm happy to always advise you on any real estate transaction you're working with, and anyone you know who needs help, you can give them my name and number. Oh, Tim, thank you so much. That was so polite and professional of you to even call me back and take the time to offer that. So that's where the...
You think that there's real estate agents that ghost people when...
Oh, 100%.
What?
Scarcity versus abundance.
Yeah, but it's a different mindset, because it's what that tells me is that you actually don't value the client or the relationship.
Correct. I didn't get the deal done. What's my next deal?
Yeah.
Moving on, folks.
It's a lot like we used to have people with us for insurance, and they would be with our office for a few years, and they would leave or find a different carrier, and hey, Sean, we got new coverage, just letting you know. So, thank you for letting me know. Mm-hmm. And I would literally write a thank you note. Remember I referenced this in the show before?
Such a great idea. No one's doing that.
No one. Because, and here's why when you talk about that, I bring it up now, is because I want them to know that I understand people leave and people, I'm not going to have every client for as long as I live. Like,
correct.
That's not.
And you're not going to win every sale, even if it's a referral, like I just mentioned.
Right. So with them leaving, I at least want them to know that I actually value, and that's what I say in my note is like, hey, you were with me for 6.5 years. I appreciate and value you letting us handle it for that time period.
Yep.
And so it's just a different, because a lot of agents, screw you, I can't believe you let me, blah, blah, blah. Like, I don't know. To me, I understand that there might be different influences that, and a lot of times those people come back to us, after, hey,
100%.
there's a mutual client that you and I know left, and then, Sean, I screwed up.
Why'd I do that?
I really made a big mistake, will you take me back? And I'm like, yeah, of course. Like, I value you as a client. I want you to, I want us to be able to service you, and all of that. So valuing your customer and that relationship puts it on a different level.
Well, the example that you just gave and the example that I gave, so your insurance example, my real estate example, is what separates someone who's more commodity-minded, transactional, versus someone who wants to be looked at as a trusted advisor.
Yeah.
They leave your insurance company and you're sending them a thank you. Let's say they were only there for 6 months, 6 weeks.
Yeah.
You'll still send the thank you note and say, hey, appreciate you giving me a shot. Sorry it didn't work out. Let me know if I can ever help you in the future. That is a trusted advisor because they will get that, and whether they ever come back to you or not, they will believe that.
I should pivot. I should take the thank you note as an opportunity to be like, hey, thank you for your business over the last 2 years. I understand, you made a decision to move. But if you could you subscribe to Bricks and Risk on your way out? Make sure you're a subscriber.
It takes less than 3 seconds, especially with today's high-speed internet.
I just roll that in. The thank you.
And
QR code with the auto subscribe.
Right.
Man, I might be on to something there. I might be on to something.
But it also goes back to my example, too. Sally, hey, Tim, sorry this one didn't work out. Appreciate your time. Went in a different direction.
Yeah.
Let's say they wanted to do for sale by owner. Doesn't even matter what direction they went in.
Whatever.
And I just call them and say, hey, Sally, just want to let you know that I appreciate the opportunity to earn your business. I'm sorry it didn't work out. But if you ever change your mind, or anyone else you know needs advice, needs perspective, needs an opinion, needs another listing presentation, first-time home buyer, investor, rental property, whatever, if they ever need anything, make me your first call, text, or email. That means more to me, and knowing that you feel good about what direction you're going in, and just know that I respect your opinion and the direction you're going in. That is the difference between a trusted advisor and a commoditized service.
Well, it gets back to another episode where I talked about that a prospect comes in, they don't give us their insurance. They go somewhere else.
Yep.
But they refer people to us because they know that even though it wasn't a fit for them at that time, their cousin who's buying a house might want to give us a shot because they know what kind of shop we are.
Right.
So
exactly.
So that in itself too lends to the professional advisor role that you really want to put at the forefront of your focus of where you're trying to drive traffic and build out your network.
Well, it even comes down to let's say reviews. So you and I are both very serious about getting online reviews.
Yep.
It doesn't matter if it's on an insurance platform or Google reviews.
Whatever.
A lot of people say Google reviews are the best.
It's feedback. It's,
exactly
good for online searching, SEO, all of that.
But if you're more interested in being a trusted advisor, if that's more your mindset, whether you're there yet or not, but that's the direction you want to go, reviews are going to be huge for your business, because review is a testimonial from the client that says, Sean was amazing to work with. He listened to everything I had to say. He gave me the right advice. I'm saving more money. The process was seamless. And now he is my insurance guy moving forward. And I'm going to tell everyone I know to work with Sean.
Yep.
And same thing with real estate. So if you have more of this trusted advisor mindset, and you know that's where things are going, especially with AI, the example you gave, I gave the .com bubble burst as an example. If that's where you believe things are going, which most people do, having the mindset of being a trusted advisor is going to get you one step closer to standing out in a crowded ocean of people who may not think that way. And they're thinking, no, I need to get as many deals done as I can before the machines come.
Right.
I need to beat the machines.
Yeah.
Skynet.
Great movie.
All right. So if you could give one actionable step or one piece of advice, let's say someone's a little bit more commodity minded right now. They have a commoditized mindset. What would you say to him or her to get them to think a little differently?
Yeah. You have to differentiate yourself, right? And if you become a commodity, then there's really no factors to differentiate yourself. So my advice would be find a way to differentiate yourself and find a way to strengthen your role as an advisor rather than a transactional commodity. One actionable step, we talked about it, is reviews. I would really, if someone was out there trying to lean into becoming more of the advisor, I would say reviews would be a really good first step in trying to move in that direction.
Yep.
Because like you explained and you laid out, is you really get to understand when a person leaves a review, it's like, I did business with this person. And it's proof positive of how they were able to help you. Mm-hmm. And a lot of those instances is the non-transactional stuff, right? Like, we had a closing and they changed around the dates, and Sean was able to accommodate everything that we needed, and his team did a great job. So you're kind of allowing your client to tell that story, and usually in a way that shines a light on how you were the advisor, or how you were able to do things differently to accommodate all of their needs. And when you're checking those boxes, you do move from the commodity role as more of an advisor role.
I think that's great. I've said this before on many episodes, and it's a great way to understand how I look at this and where I think you want to go, is lead with value. Go back to that example. Sally says, we're going to go in a different direction. We're not going to work with you. Sorry, Tim, didn't work out. By me leading with value and saying, that's okay, I respect your decision. If anyone else or you ever needs anything else, please reach out, is letting them know you're here for the long term. You're here to give them value, to provide advice, to tell them what their home is worth, to tell them how to market it, to tell them why that listing price is too high, to tell them not to fix the kitchen because you're going to spend $15,000 and no one's going to give you that money back, to tell that person why this is in their best interest to complete the sale. That's what a trusted advisor does. So I would say lead with value. And like for you were saying, you want to stand out. Well,
it's also too, you don't want to leave a bad taste in their mouth.
Great way
right?
to put it.
When you leave and you exit that relationship and they're done, right? So in your example, I didn't get the listing, right? You have option A, to be kicking, screaming, or ghost them, or tell them why they're wrong and how they're idiots and they're fools for not choosing you. Or B, hey, it didn't work out. I really appreciate this, and being very pleasant, and let them know
Professional.
that. Right. Which one is more likely to get business from that person? Because maybe they move, maybe they have a sister, maybe there's a need down the road. Who's more likely to get that business down the road? It's not even a question.
No, it's not.
So be professional. Leave a good taste in their mouth. Let them know that you're a pro. Let them know that you value their time. Let them know that you value the opportunity, and that will lead to more business down the road.
Love it. Go ahead and shut this one down.
Folks, get us on the Instagram. Get us on the Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube. We're just dropped our vlog from Atlantic City, so go check it out.
Bricks and Risk, the movie.
You can leave a review for us on Apple if you enjoy the show. We just went video live on Apple Podcasts, so you can check out the video feed from our show on Apple, our #1 platform for podcast. And you can email us if you have comments, questions, feedback about the show. bricksandrisk@gmail.com. We can put you on our list for our networking events. We have one coming up in June
2nd.
Or maybe this will be released after June.
Probably.
So we'll have another one
in the fall.
So if you want to come, we get a lot of people networking, mastermind type of stuff. Get us on the email. Tell us you want to be involved and get on our list, and we'll be sure to hit you up.
That's all we have for this one, folks. Thank you for tuning in again to another episode of Bricks and Risk. See you next week. Thank you for joining us on another episode of Bricks and Risk. Our goal is that you walk away with 1 or 2 valuable nuggets, and we greatly appreciate you sharing your time with us today. You can find all B&R episodes on Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, and anywhere else you get your podcast content. Until next time, keep learning and keep growing.